Welcome back to another recap and review of Monday Night Raw. How you doing? The show kicks off with the former Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. She calls out the woman who caused her injury and has been making moves on her man, Liv Morgan. However, Dominik is the one to come out to apologize with a flower in hand. I thought it was pretty cute. He made sure to get a black rose. But Rhea isn't really buying it. When Liv shows up on the Titantron, basically mocking Rhea for her injury and for stealing Dominik. Rhea responds by challenging Morgan to a championship match at SummerSlam, which she accepts. A tier. Backstage, things aren't going so great for Dominik. Rhea is still extremely angry for his shenanigans with Liv lately. But let me tell you, Jey Uso is a dog. Once he heard about this drama, he started trying to make moves on Rhea Ripley immediately by asking the guys if she's single. Damien hypes Jey up just to mess with Dominik, and this would set up their match for later in the night. Next, Sheamus debuted his new theme song from Def Rebel, which I'm sure everyone online will love. I don't even think it's terrible, but that's disappointing. I shamelessly listen to wrestling music all the time, but these new ones just don't hit the same. Anyways, he was here to take on Big Bronson Reed, which I thought was decent. The best parts were Sheamus celebrating mid-match by giving Pat McAfee a hug while being covered in sweat, and Bronson Reed going for a moonsault attempt, which Sheamus rolled out of the way of and hit a knee for the 1-2-3. However, after the match, Bronson went to blindside Sheamus. Fortunately, Pete Dunne stopped him before he was hurt. Unfortunately, Pete Dunne just wanted to blindside Sheamus himself. I have no idea why Dunne would do this. They used to be boys, the Brawling Brutes. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait for him to explain himself. Hey, so do you remember 2 weeks ago when Zelina Vega was in the main event picture and she fought for the Women's World Championship? Well, tonight she lost to Sonya Deville in a 1-minute match. Now, it wasn't a clean win. The ref got distracted and Shayna Baszler did that arm-breaking move she always does, which Deville capitalized on for the win. Following the match, Shayna, Stark, and Deville all jumped Zelina, who was then saved by Katana, Kaden, and Lyra Valkyrie. So here's my thoughts on the situation. I do like that they're setting up this feud between these two factions, but it's another case of good idea, bad execution. The 1-minute match could have worked, but having Zelina lose because Shayna did a move that she does, in a normal match, made Zelina look pretty weak. They should have had Shayna hit her with a chair or something. That would have made it way better. Backstage, Chad Gable confronts Adam Pearce to figure out why Bo Dallas was in his office last week. Pearce says it was a private conversation, so if Gable wants to know what's up, he's gonna have to talk to Bo Dallas himself, which Gable agrees to and claims he's gonna call him out to the ring later in the night. This is a really terrible idea. The past few weeks, Gable has been scared out of the ring every time the White Six show up. Additionally, he went to the Alpha Academy to see if they would have his back, when obviously they wouldn't, so I have no idea why he thought this will go well. Alright, so the world champion Damien Priest had a match scheduled with Braun Strowman, but first, he took to the mic to call out his challenger at SummerSlam, Gunther. And this got so insane. Gunther immediately brings down Priest by saying his reign so far has been terrible, which maybe. He's defended the title without any interference a total of 0 times. Gunther then gives Priest the option of just handing him over the belt right now to save him the embarrassment. Priest didn't take that so well, so he responds by comparing their pasts to show how much harder he had to work, saying while Gunther was handed everything in Europe, he was fighting to survive in the streets, in which Gunther, I had to replay this, said living in the streets is a choice, and made fun of Priest for his parents not being able to provide for him. What? Then goes on about how this was never his dream, and he's just simply better, which is why he'll be the one to restore prestige to the championship. Priest retaliates by saying the reason Gunther lost at WrestleMania was because he doesn't have the heart for this business that Sami Zayn does, and it's the same reason why he's gonna lose at SummerSlam. This promo was amazing. It actually got me rooting for Damien now because Gunther is just a villain. S tier. After that, Damien finally beat Braun Strowman one-on-one. Braun has been terrorizing the Judgment Day for weeks, almost months, I think. But with so much build-up and story with this group, I felt like this match deserved to be for the championship on at least a Raw main event. B tier. Then we had Katana Chance and Kayden Carter going up against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. This was really good. It started off slow and a bit awkward, but Katana Chance, man, she was fighting like rent was late. Usually her and Carter pull off amazing tag team moves, which they definitely did here, but she went off by herself, and she did this backflip over Zoe Stark's head and landed her knees into her stomach. I've never seen that before. But Shayna and Stark won with that toss into a knee. It's a great finisher. A tier. I'm pretty excited for the 6-woman tag match we're setting up. Next, Drew McIntyre was given the chance to make the match with CM Punk at SummerSlam official. Him and Adam Pearce were hyping up the fans. Drew, I know you want it. I know CM Punk wants it. I know the WWE Universe wants it. And all Drew McIntyre had to do was apologize to the refs who got hurt at Money in the Bank, which he refused to do and threw a huge fit, which got him resuspended, which Seth Rollins had to help come deal with. Okay, I am done believing in Drew McIntyre. I've been rooting for him for so long, but it just feels like an endless cycle of disappointment. All those matches with Gunther for the IC title, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, both Clash of the Castles, Money in the Bank, and now this fake up hyping up the fans for the match and then only to end in resuspending him. It's just killing me. It's an endless cycle of yay, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre. I love him, but yeah, I think but is good enough. After that, Dominik got his chance to make sure Jey Uso stays away from Rhea Ripley. It was pretty funny. Constantly through the match, he would yell at Jey, "Stay away from my mommy." And we were getting a solid match until Liv Morgan shows up, causing some shenanigans, who Rhea Ripley scares off. But unfortunately, because of all this, Dominik loses focus on the match, and Jey spears him for the 1-2-3. Jey Uso is the man. Even though he's kind of just floating around and doesn't have a direction at this point, he's always just vibing. And finally, Liv Morgan can no longer harass Dominik without any consequences. Aww, and they make up. It's a good day. A tier. Then, like he said, Chad Gable calls out Bo Dallas for a confrontation, which he actually appears for, but is immediately jumped by the Creed brothers. They hit Bo with every finisher known to man, despite him spookily laughing throughout the entire beating, until the rest of the Wyatt Six show up, scaring away Chad and the Creeds. So this segment brought us the first appearance of the Sigma Academy, but it's just so unfortunate that their first feud is going to have them being beaten and overshadowed by the Wyatt Six. I think both sides should have feuded with other groups before this. But besides that, A tier. Finally, it was time for the main event. Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov for the Intercontinental Championship. Does A, Sami beat Ilya to retain? Or B, Ilya defeats Sami to become the new Intercontinental Champion? That's right, C, Braun Breaker interferes and causes a disqualification. This was such a banger too, and it sucks that it got short because this guy has anger problems. They better have a triple threat at SummerSlam. And you know what? Have Braun Breaker win. Because that way, if he's champion, he can no longer cause interference. Genius. I solved everything. Anyways, that was my recap and review of Monday Night Raw. What are your thoughts on the show? And as always, thanks for watching, cool dudes.
Come Tuesday,